never forget the memory.
It's Marta
Mondays. My life's work. The pen is mightier than the sword. No one knows you like you know yourself. What a wonderful thing to know for our brain health, that we can help improve our memory simply by this beautiful habit. I believe that journaling is an act of self-love. I will never stop writing until my dying breath. Actual number of years, we're coming up on 24 years of writing, coming up on volume 22. So those are the stats, and thank you so much for watching. I love you. Oh, hi! Didn't see you there, KoalaSubbies. I was just looking through my journal. Hey KoalaSubbies! Welcome back to my channel. I feel like this is Chanel meets Barbie. I think it's so fun to be a woman and be able to dress up and be cute, and especially here on my YouTube channel, it's a fun expression of who I am. So I wanted to switch it up, and so I have this silly little look with this pearl headband, pink lip, and also in a way, the way that this is kind of reminds me of koala ears, like their little fluffy koala ears. Anyone who has been curious about journaling or the benefits, I want to make this video pretty thorough without making it too long. The reason that this matters so much to me and is so deep to my heart is because I have been journaling since I was 11 years old, and these diaries are honestly my most precious possessions, and it's the story of my life. I am so proud and happy that I have developed this habit, and it's something I never want to quit. It's something that I love doing. It's something that helps my mental health tremendously. It's something that I just absolutely love doing, and I wanted to share the joy of it, the benefits of it, and just talk to you a little bit about journaling. So without further ado, let me get started. This habit of mine started before I even hit puberty, but I am so glad that it's stuck with me. It's something that I feel restores and nourishes my soul. And so I had a post on my Instagram recently asking what you guys would like to see. And one of my closest friends, who is also a therapist, and she's just an incredible woman, Chrissy, I see you, I love you, thank you for the suggestion. This video wouldn't be made without you. Maybe I would come up with it one day, but thank you so much for the suggestion. I think it's a really wonderful thing you did, so I'm really glad to be here and talk to you guys about it. I wanted to make this video, this Marta Mondays, to talk to you about the benefits of journaling, this beautiful habit that maybe you will also develop, and then also talk about my journey with it and some tips and tricks that I may have for you if you choose to use them. Because especially if that's something that's new to you, just like any habit, it's going to take some mindfulness, some dedication, some consistency in order to keep on top of this habit. Here you see this bag, and this is actually a fireproof bag. The reason that I keep these in a fireproof bag is because these are literally my most precious possessions. I don't really care about clothes or anything being lost ever, but my diaries are essentially pieces of my soul on paper, and say if anything were to happen, God forbid a fire, I would still be able to have them. It's a fireproof bag. So I'm gonna bust it out right here and we can dive into the contents. Before I do, I wanted to show you my current diary. Shout out to Babcia. Kochana Babcia, dziękuję bardzo za ten prezent. Naprawdę znasz moje serce i co dla mnie jest ważne, więc bardzo Ci dziękuję, kochana babciu. I was just thanking my grandmother in Polish who bought me this. I keep track of what number journal this is. So this would be, I have a little sticky note here that says it's number 21. So that means it's the 21st notebook. And right now, I'm this far deep into it. So more than halfway. And then let's see when I started it, January 3rd of this year. Here is the vault, all 20 of my journals since we were on number 21. So, ooh, a little ASMR. So let's dive into here. There's a zip and then there's more zips. Wow, I feel like I'm busting out like very top secret files, which they are to me. Here's the previous one. This is number 20. My best friend Sarah, who lives in Germany, my Polish German friend. I love you so much. Thank you for this present. She gifted me this and it's so perfect because, you know, I'm Koala Marta and Koala, it says la la la, but I changed it to Koala Marta. So that was super precious. I mean, look how cute. I'm not gonna go over all of these when they started and stuff, but I was just curious. It looks like I started June 23rd of 2021. So last summer, pretty much, right before I moved from San Francisco to Miami. Let me just show you kind of here. Ooh. You can see my journals. Here's number 17, number 19, number 18, number 13, number 8. Oh, this is number 4. Number 7, number 9. This is number 6. Number 5. This is number 15. There's number 11. There's a thick one. That's what she said. Number 14. Number 12. Number 16. Oh boy. This video may get long. Oh, my Jenga. Oh, my Jenga. Number 10. Oh my gosh, you guys. The reason I squealed is because this is little me with a stethoscope. Number 3. This is number 2. Never forget the memory. That's exactly what I was afraid of. Let's reconfigure them so it's more stable. Oh my gosh, the last one, I hope it doesn't topple. And number 1, the OG, the one that started it all. Magazine cutouts. I don't know, I put like funny eyebrows on myself. It's like little me. And then little like, I think I didn't even hit puberty yet right there. Warning, explosive. Oh man, you guys, this is amazing. I am so glad I'm making this video. My life's work, my life in 21 notebooks, the span of over 2 decades, my soul, my evolving soul, that's always evolving, in these books, in this Jenga stack. Amazing. Did you know that Frida Kahlo, Marie Curie, which actually is Marie Curie Skłodowska, Maria Curie Skłodowska. Yes, she's Polish. She married a French man, but the Nobel Prize winner, wonderful chemist, is a Polish woman, like myself. Anyways, but also her, Frederick Douglass, and Leonardo da Vinci all had this in common, is that they would journal. I'm really glad that lately journaling has taken more of a front seat. It can help foster your mental health, your well-being, And now lately there's been a lot of research done that even proves this. Before I go into the benefits that come with journaling, I am going to go over some tips and maybe advice that I have for you if you would like to start your own journey of writing. I want to share some tips that will make getting into this habit a little bit easier and more natural. If you have not kept a journal before, I just have some words of wisdom, some golden nuggets to share with you that may help you if writing and keeping track of your life is something that you would like to get into. As far as myself, I will never stop writing until my dying breath. I am at most in tune with who I am when everything that is up here, everything that's floating up in the cabeza, in my guava, is written down. It helps me clarify things and just put those thoughts out there. It gives me an extreme sense of calm. I believe that journaling, for me, is an act of self-love, of self-care, and it helps me be my best self. It connects me with my highest self, and it is honestly the one habit I think I am most proud of. You probably already know that there's different kinds of journals. There's bullet journals, there are gratitude journals, all sorts of journals exist out there. Really like the idea of gratitude journals. I think it's a good way to jumpstart into journaling if it's something that you would like to do. I personally have never done that. What I'm going to be talking about is just a free-flowing, freestyle, got an open book, open blank pages waiting for you. It's whatever you want. You just write. Let out whatever is on your mind. There's no formula to this. This is your life. This is your story. So do whatever makes sense for you. It's gonna ebb and flow. It's gonna change. Sometimes it may be as boring as I had a grilled cheese sandwich today and I'm feeling blue. And some days, and usually this is when you're in a different of an emotional state or something's going on, you naturally will find yourself more introspective and really taking the time to write out your feelings, talk yourself through why you're going, what you're going through. This often happens to me. I'll start kind of boring, and then as I write and I get in that flow, then these emotions just come out. Emotions, thoughts, introspection. A seemingly boring entry can be winding up on 9 pages and starting on page 5. I really get into this flow because I'm letting myself get into this flow. And it takes this mindful habit of starting and even just picking up that pen and having it touch the paper to get yourself going. Get started. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just see what comes out and you'll find out. So of course there's different kinds of journals. As you see, I have all sorts of different kinds. And I would recommend getting one that maybe isn't too bulky. I mean, I know I have some bulkier ones, but I really like those soft touch leather ones. Just something that makes you feel good. Maybe it has a cute message like this one. Something that makes you feel special, that when you see it, it feels like a part of you. You're excited to open it up and you know this is your special sacred place. When you have a really special notebook, your mind, your brain is going to connect it with this sacred ritual of writing, and when you see it and over time you pick it up, it's going to also help you put you in that free-flowing, creative, releasing energy, very cathartic. So you want to like your diary, you want to have it feel nice in your hand, you really want to enjoy it. I really like the ones that have these little tassels. Some of them have 1, some have 2, but then you can always bookmark where you last picked up. A thought on journaling on laptops and computers. I am personally not a fan. I think there's something so beautiful about touching the journal, about that pen to paper contact, knowing that whatever's up here is about to magically transform into written form. Also, with blue lights and things, it's not so good for your eyes, and in a way, your diary and that moment that you take the time to write, this should be a very sacred, personal time. And I personally like to write in the evening, especially when I'm heading towards bed. And the last thing I want to do is be looking at blue screens. Of course, I'm guilty at having my phone out too late, but generally I do try to avoid electronics before bedtime, so that for me works. And I feel that typing your diary is just not the same. You could lose the files, and there's something so extremely satisfying by having a book, having evidence that you can feel and touch and smell, that is all part of your history and part of who you are. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm all about old school. I write letters. I love reading books, paper books. I could just never get into the Kindle thing. I love the smell of a book. I love holding a book in my hand. I love doggy earing it. I know the Karens are gonna come for me, get a bookmark. I have bookmarks, but I like to doggy ear, so it's my book, so let me do it. I'm gonna do it. You can't stop me, haha. As far as the space that you want to be in when you're writing, I would recommend, of course, your bedroom, maybe your office, a very personal, sacred space in which you feel safe. I have written on airplanes, I've written in cafes and things. If you feel safe, that's awesome, but it's really important to set a tone, a nice tone of relaxing ambiance when you get into this zone, because this is your sacred personal time. This is mental, spiritual hygiene, and it's a very sacred act, so you want your surroundings to reflect that. And on another note, as far as your surroundings, I would not recommend having music on that has lyrics, because your brain is automatically, I mean, mine does, I think we all do, you hear words and you start thinking about the words and what they're saying, and that's distracting. We want to be focused on our thoughts and our feelings and emotions and having that special time for ourselves. So I would recommend either writing in silence or listening to classical music, jazz music, electronic chill, just anything that doesn't have lyrics, because you don't want to get distracted. Maybe the only exception I would say for lyrics is if you don't know the language of the lyrics that you're listening to, then maybe you can get away with it. I sometimes listen to bossa nova, which is in Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese. I speak Spanish, but I don't speak Portuguese. So, I mean, I pick up a word here and there. But that's very rarely. I usually have some sort of spa, chill, or very relaxing music, or not at all. If you speak another language, use your superpower, if you know how to write in this other language, to write in your diary. I'm not saying that people are going to be peeking over and reading your journal, but if you're writing something very intimate, something very special to you, something that, you know, is very personal, you don't want people to know, I suggest using your superpower of knowing and writing in another language. And if you don't, then I don't know, you know, just try to kind of be cautious if you don't want the people around you to look, because of course, you know, people do respect, you would hope, but I think maybe some sneaky Karens could be looking over their shoulder, and, you know, people are curious. So that is what I do. That's my superpower in the sense of speaking and writing Polish. So when I travel or I'm in a public place, sometimes in a cafe, I will write in Polish, because the chances of someone being able to read Polish next to me, especially in Miami, I'm not in Chicago, are, I don't know, probably less than 2%, to be honest. So that's a tip I have for you. Like I mentioned, writing is a habit, and as we know, habits are created with intention and they take time to form. Researchers have found that it takes about 21 days, 3 weeks to establish a habit. And if writing is something that you haven't really delved deep into, more than writing essays for school or whatnot, but you would like to, it will be a little challenging at first. But since this is your intention, this is what you want to do, this is a habit of self-love and self-care that you would like to establish for yourself, I recommend as a beginner to really set aside some assigned time for when you would like to journal. And this doesn't have to be extremely specific where Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. I'm going to write, but do check in with yourself and see if you are staying on top of this beautiful habit that you would like to build. And a tip that I would suggest for you is to start with the 2-minute rule. And this isn't anything that I invented. I, once again, am talking about something that I picked up from the wonderful book Atomic Habits from James Clear. I have talked about this book ad nauseum, and I probably will not stop because it's a wonderful book. But he specifically says that, especially when creating a new habit and wanting to get into that flow, even as silly as it sounds, setting aside just 2 minutes, you will often find that after the 2 minutes pass, you will want to continue a little bit more. And even if you don't feel like it, you already have 2 minutes of writing. And 2 minutes of writing can be a whole page, maybe 2, depending on your thought flow. But this is a really good tip that I suggest to anyone who is thinking about starting and would like some guidance to stay in this beautiful habit. This is not a record of your day. I went to the grocery store, I did this and that. Of course, this is your journal, write whatever you want, but more so the benefits and the beautiful thing is that introspective part. And so sure, sometimes you will have boring entries, but I think something I even did in the beginning, well, I started really young when I was 11, but I would just talk about what went on, but then eventually it got deeper, of course. But don't just write about things that happen to you. Write about things you're grateful about, write about your feelings, about, any inner conflict you have. Do try to get deeper, because even though at first it may seem unnatural, especially if you have not really practiced this before, but don't beat yourself up either when you feel that your writing is boring or whatnot. I promise as you keep it up, you will find yourself in this magic state of flow eventually. And even for me, even until this day, 25 years later, 21 journals later, I also have sometimes boring entries or short entries. That's just life. Not every day is going to be an emotional flow or whatever you're going through. It's just, this is life, right? And some days are lighter, some are deeper, and that's going to be the same in your writing, and it's going to reflect the same in your journals. Writing in your journal can also be a way to manifest. I do sometimes write the things I want to attract into my life. And FYI, the things that we want to attract in life, especially say in a potential love partner, we have to embody those things and be those things, because what we are, we attract. So just a little tip there. Hopefully you knew that. Energy matches energy, but you can absolutely use your diary to do that. I mean, there's no rules, right? There's no right and wrong. I'm just saying, and pardon me if I'm looking down at my notes. I just want to make sure I get everything out that I would like to say. There's something very sacred about writing, because when you speak things into word, you're spelling, and that's creating your reality. When we amplify that by saying the things we desire and want, think about those things that we desire and want, and then add that third component of writing it down, all those forces are magically going to combine, and I swear the universe will conspire to help you. You know that quote, Mr. Alchemist, Paul Coelho. This effect multiplies, and especially in your subconscious, so you may not even realize it, but as you keep writing and thinking and saying the things that you want, say it sometimes out loud, reread it, the universe will help you conspire to get there, and you may start showing up as your higher self sooner than you even know. If you're struggling to get started, another tip that you may find helpful is using a prompt. Another really wonderful way to start or end your journal entries is by expressing gratitude. Life is such an incredible gift. The fact that you and I are here right now, the fact that all these years of your ancestors and their survival, and here you are, we made it. Hopefully we'll continue making it. But even the chances of us being born are some insane number. Life is an absolute miracle, and the more you express gratitude, profound gratitude for life, for all your blessings, and being in that thankful mode, this is going to elevate your frequency so high, because gratitude, thankfulness, love, these are the highest vibrations that we can be in, and to be in that state only brings more of that back to us, because the universe is a mirror, and what we put out there comes back to us, and the same with karma. So, you know, be careful, don't cross people, obviously, because that may come back to you. But if you are, say, going through a rough day, and you're here writing to your best friend, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened today, and you're venting, but then you take that time to reflect, whether in the beginning of your entry, middle, end, wherever, of all the good things in your life, and really take stock and write it down. This will really shift your perspective, and it's just such a wonderful, wonderful way to be. So that's something I definitely recommend. I don't always write my gratitudes in every entry, but it isn't habit. It's a habit that I started implementing a few years ago, because I think it's important to give gratitude. I would say you always, of course, want to write the date and the year, but I also suggest writing the day of the week and the time. As a beginner, I would just like to say, and even if you aren't a beginner, I have actually, there is a volume in here somewhere where, I don't know if it's close to a year, but it's quite a few months that I have a gap. And in other journals, it's seemingly back-to-back days, just continuous flow. But what I'm getting at is, don't beat yourself up over, don't beat yourself up over not always logging. It's life, but just as long as you come back to writing and you come back to that space once in a while, and you're mindful that you want to return, it's kind of the same way as in meditation. When our mind wanders, we return back to the breath. And so you want to return back to the breath of your soul of writing. Don't worry about being deep. Again, this is for you. This is your journal. These things will come, and so this is just for you. So don't beat yourself up over, oh my goodness, I didn't write this poetic thing, or you find it hard to be eloquent and express yourself. And this is something I will touch on the benefits, because actually writing, and the more you write, the more you will be able to express yourself in a very eloquent way. Quickly touching on another James Clear idea, he talks about habit stacking in his book Atomic Habits, how we want to connect certain habits with one another to help them become more effective. For example, in my ritual video, I talked about my morning walk and meditation, and how I will not put on my contacts, because I wear contacts, until after I meditate. And this habit stacking, habits that stack on top of one another and help each other out in a way, this is something also that you can implement to help you stay on top of this beautiful habit. For example, when I'm going to journal, I will have my favorite tea with it. After journaling, I will relax and go to bed. Whatever habit stack works for you, but this is a really, really good tip. All right, now I'm going to go into the benefits. The benefits. Well, from my experience of a quarter of a century in writing, for me, the benefits are undeniable. I feel very clear-headed after I write. It's a very therapeutic and cathartic process. In psychology and therapy, we talk about this concept of self-parenting because none of us are responsible for the trauma that was caused to us, say, whether in childhood or even a little later in life, adolescence. But all of us are responsible for healing our own trauma and addressing that and trying to fix it. And you can really fix it. You can heal yourself. It takes mindfulness, it takes practice, it takes looking for resources, a therapist, writing, reading books. Writing in a way is a way of self-therapy, self-parenting, and there have been so many aha moments that I've had, even more so than in therapy, just me, the pen, and the paper. So just from my own life and my own experience and these 21 journals, I can, I'm a living testament to that. But also there have been studies that have proved the numerous benefits of journaling. So writing and communication skills develop, and further, when you develop this habit, you will become more eloquent. And I have found that the longer I've been writing, the more I can find ways to describe things, express myself in a very refined way. I can really find beautiful phrases and beautiful words to describe whatever I'm going through. This comes with time because I think a lot of us struggle, especially with speaking and communication. What's up here can be like a Shakespeare sonnet, just like the memes. And then what comes out is just complete, just, is this even English, So that's just part of being human. But trust me, the more you write, the more effective you will become at communicating, the more effective you will become at writing. It's just a process, but trust me. Journaling and keeping this beautiful habit can also boost discipline, and it gives you something to be proud of down the road. Honestly, when I started this video and I bust out these notebooks and I'm sitting here looking at this Jenga stack of my life, it makes me feel so proud that I kept this up, that I have this wonderful record of my life. If one day I become a known figure, which is something that I'd like, I don't necessarily want to be famous, but I want to leave an influence on this world, a positive influence. I want to become someone that's known in the world, but more specifically, so known for giving my gifts to the world to make it a better place, my expertise in psychology and wherever my future career may take me. But if one day that does happen, and I'd like it to happen, perhaps I will choose to publish these journals. And even if I don't, it's something that I have. If I have children, they can have. Of course, there's some juicy nuggets, but if one day my granddaughter wants to know what her grandma was up to 50 years ago, she can read it and be like, man, grandma had the same problems that I did, or whatnot. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And in a way, I don't care about being immortal, because my belief is that my soul is eternal and my spirit is eternal, and I keep coming back into a new flesh avatar. But if you're someone that really wants to leave a legacy, wants to really leave your life after death, I suppose, and become, how do I say, immortal in a sense. When I die, I become carbon and the books stay behind. It's a physical thing that will outlive me and outlive my biological time span. And in a way, that's a pretty cool thing to think about. Here I'm going to get into shadow work. The shadow is a realm of the subconscious. According to Jungian psychology, the shadow self and our inner shadow self is personality characteristics that we do possess, but we don't really express them because they may be shameful, they may be things that we are not proud of. We all have these things. We all have that yin and yang, the good side, and not necessarily the bad side, but the shadow side, these things that maybe we're not proud of, things that are part of our character that we don't show to the world because we all wear a mask into the world to project our own best selves. But when you go deeper into that shadow self and really address these aspects of yourself and work with yourself about it and think through it and write through it, this can really help you integrate your shadow self with your higher self and become a more, I'm not sure how to even word this, like I thought it was so eloquent, but a more put together human being in the sense. As you become more introspective and work on your shadow self, this can really help you integrate parts of yourself that maybe you aren't proud of, but you think through, and this can really help your healing. It can help you choose more mature emotional responses to whatever triggers you. It can really do a lot of wonderful stuff for your psyche. Fun fact, very interesting fact that I found. Journaling can help strengthen memory. The Journal of Experimental Psychology published research that shows how writing your thoughts down can reduce intrusive thoughts about negative events and improve working memory. Even the simple act of writing something down lets your brain know that you want to remember it. And this is why note-taking is such an effective learning tool. I mean, when you were in school, this was often said that the best way to remember something is to write it down, and all the note-taking, because this is how our brain processes information. And writing down your thoughts, your memories, whatever happened to you, not only will it help strengthen your memory, you will also have the memory on paper in case you forget. But what a wonderful thing to know for our brain health, that we can help improve our memory simply by this beautiful habit, by cultivating this gorgeous, gorgeous self-loving ritual of journaling. Writing your thoughts down can also really help reduce your anxiety. Writing thoughts down can help calm you and fight anxiety. When you shed your thoughts on paper, they don't linger as much as in your head. Looking back can help you with self-reflection, and it can help you declutter your mind. It's science-based that journaling helps reduce stress. Wouldn't we all want to reduce our stress? Journaling really helps encourage self-belief and belief in yourself, especially looking back at how far you've come. It's such a rewarding feeling. This is another reason why I really encourage it. And sometimes I do look back. I don't often reread my past entries, but sometimes I have, and it's been so rewarding and I suppose just beautiful to see how far I've come, how far my family has come. And the journal can be your best friend. It's very self-soothing. When you are alone and you have no one else to turn to, you can always turn to yourself. And in a way, this book and paper is a reflection, an extension of you. And it really feels like it is my best friend. In times of struggle, I have found that nothing helps me as much as pen and paper at times. Of course, the loving hug of a friend, the conversation with family and loved ones, it does a lot. but no one knows you like you know yourself. And when you dive deep into you, yourself, and paper, extension of you, this is really profound and has wonderful, magnificent healing aspect. Journaling can also help you achieve your goals. So writing down whatever goals you have and then checking back in time or making notes about how you're getting there, it can really help you keep on top of whatever goals you have. And in a way, again, it opens up that portal in your subconscious too, because you're writing about it, and that stuff really stays in there, and it helps you follow your dreams and chase your dreams. I have this little thing here so that I can prop up some of these. Yeah, now it's the homey touch, the final stretch. Just me and you and not looking at the paper, and I'm done with the meat. The most important information of this video is the reason that I don't always look back at my journal so often is life keeps flowing, life keeps happening, and I don't want to live in the past because it's in the past. That causes anxiety. I don't want to worry about the future. Of course, some sort of planning and foresight is essential. That's how all human beings that are alive have made it so far, because we have this beautiful thing called foresight. But living too much in the future causes worry, and that's not necessary either. We all want to be in the only reality that there is, and that is the present moment, the right now. And this is part of why meditation is so wonderful. It keeps you centered, it takes you back to your breath to remind you that the only reality is the present moment. And this is why I very rarely look back at my journal entries. If I needed to check something, or there was something that I remembered that I wanted to double check, of course I will. But I really make an effort, a mindful effort, to live in the present moment. So that is my main reason as to why I don't do that. And now the part that you've all been waiting for. I'm going to look through some of my journals and read a little bit here and there. I don't want to make this video a forever video, but I wanted to make it in depth because this is such a near and dear subject to my heart. It's so important to share this beautiful ritual with all of you. So I really wanted to be thorough. Let's just go in here. So the first journal, let's check what that first date is. The official entry, this very first journal that started all of this, is from when I started in Polish, 31 stycznia 1999. So it's the 31st of January, 1999. I moved to the United States in the fall of 1998. I believe it was late July or early August. This is me a few months in the United States. I'm in ESL classes, 6th and 7th grade. So I do start in Polish, but I'll read while translating the first line. So mind you, here I am just freshly 12 years old. So this is from that perspective. I say that today I woke up around 9 a.m. and I walked the dogs. I almost froze to death. Dallas does sometimes get pretty chilly in the winter. Nothing like Poland or anything, but yeah. So that Ulka, my doggy, could go to the bathroom. And then I was on the internet. At 11 in the morning, I went with my mom to the shops because my dad had, how do you call it? He's a doctor when they have, you know, the thing. And then let's see, well, there's some pages falling out. Oh, so there's an interesting part here. I stopped, it looks like in December of 1999, and then there's a part here that says new beginning. So let's see what that is about. And also the pages are falling out, but we can fix that. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is all, like, I didn't prep this, so I'm also discovering this. So here I ended writing in Polish, and then the new beginning I start writing in English, and I resume in July of 2001. So I think this is, I guess, 7th grade. And I even have a little explanation here where I say, I'm gonna write in English because I feel more comfortable that way. I haven't written in so long. It's weird because I feel like I read another person's thoughts. It's weird how you change. Okay, this is like me starting 7th grade, so you know, hormones and teenagers. Oh my gosh. I don't want to like show all of this because it's like I'm still friends with some of these middle school people, so I don't want their names, but this is me in 7th grade already bleaching my hair. I'm trying to grow out my natural, but how funny is that? Oh, another thing I do is I sometimes attach, like, here's a movie ticket. I do attach little trinkets and things and special memories because it's part of the nostalgia, and I'm a very nostalgic person. I just like want to show this part. Mark McGrath, Sugar Ray. Oh my gosh, are you guys the same generation as me? Beautiful Britney and J-Lo, those were the times. Let's just kind of do a random shuffle because we ain't got all day. Ain't nobody got time for that. Here, I got number 8, so let's see where that is. I'm gonna do a random moment. Okay, here, let's land on a date where it starts. So okay, here. Oh, this could be like my troubling times. I had some, yeah, oh, this is at the height of, I haven't really spoken about this. Maybe I will, I'm not sure, but right after high school and during most of my college experience, undergrad, I was struggling a lot with mental health issues, and everyone that knows me knows about this, and I know I can never see myself from the outside looking in, and I have family and friends aware of this and always checking in on me, and thank God, thank the universe that I haven't really had anything like that happen in over a decade. But this was a really rough time in my life, those few years, and in a way, I think that my brain protected itself from this traumatic time that I actually don't remember a lot of that time and a lot of those memories. As weird as that sounds, the brain does do that to, in a way, protect ourselves from whatever difficult situations we were going through. And this is really at the height of it. So I'm looking at March 30th of 2007, and this is some of the times that were really rough for me, and I don't remember a lot of this, so I may not read some of this, but I'm just going to peek into what is happening. So it's March 30th, which is Doctor's Day. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I think that I'm becoming more mature with time. Every day I learn something new. Well, don't we all? It's funny how you become a little sarcastic with yourself when you go and reread this. Yes, I've been more mature since I've left my teenage years. I will be 21 in September. Oh, underage me to be 21 again. But I don't want to go back there. I like being in my 30s. I've been doing a lot of thinking about my life. I only have my mother and my father here. I love them, but at the same time, I want to be an adult, yet I love being their kid. Well, that story hasn't changed. You can really see that my brain isn't really developed yet, and really our brains don't develop until our late 20s, early 30s, so let's just skip that. Let's see what else is here. Again, this is my current one, the one I'm almost done with. So let's just peek into that one real quick. A lot of my heartbreak drama is in here. But your girl's doing much better. Thank you, God. August 8th reflects on my recent heartbreak situation. And of course, I don't like sharing everything, and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable or show who I am. I'm just gonna read it. If you're here for it, great. If you're not, then skip. I do these videos also for me and my own self-reflection one day. It is Lion's Gate, an abundant day full of possibility to manifest and bring our hopes into reality. In a sense, I feel a shift in me, like a new perspective, a new calm, a stronger me, one that is discerning, mindful, and more balanced. I feel that I have a new sense of introspection that has been activated. It is all in the aftermath of the well, I don't want to say his name, but of the letter of his name thing. I am so grateful that this mess went down because it taught me a lot about myself. Last time I wrote, I had, oh, I don't want to read this part. I love how free I feel. I think the insert his name thing was some twin flame karmic lesson I had to learn. And then I talk about having my therapist session. But a lot of this is relating to that situation. Okay, so this is April 5th of this year. He was tense in the face, I could tell. The vibe was off. And he told me the news that he's moving to the guest room. It is interesting. I've waited so long for this moment, while for my selfish reasons, it isn't the woo, happy, elated I thought it would be, because I have compassion for him and how difficult it is. I also empathize with her as a fellow human being. April 6th, I'm tanning naked right now and it feels amazing. Okay, let's move on. Let's see where we are. This is February. Oh, wow. This is, oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, sorry. This is February 11th, 2019. So February 1st of 2019 was when my ex-boyfriend of 4.5 years dumped me in therapy. And this was really hard. And so this entry is just 10 days fresh after that. And I really didn't start to come out of the fog of that until a month and a half later. Wow, so I haven't really read this. I mean, I don't really go back to these, but this is pretty interesting. So February 11th, Monday, 8:53 p.m. I am processing. It is a lot to take in and process. A big part of me even runs from processing, but I have to do it, or at least try. I feel like the speed of my thoughts couldn't even keep up with my handwriting, but maybe that's okay. Maybe by forcing me to slow down, it can help me. Oh, wow. This is exactly what I'm talking about the writing. Man, I didn't even remember I wrote this. I feel so many emotions lately. 10 days after the breakup, it is still so surreal. I don't think of myself as a single person, even though that is what I am now. I feel like we and my boyfriend, wow, are so ingrained in me. They're, oh my gosh. It's so insane to look back on this. Wow, because I've grown so much and I've healed so much, and me and this person are wonderful friends, although if you maybe saw my heartbreak video, he's upset with me at the moment, and I did send him a video and an apology, and I hope that comes through because I really care and love about him. He's a wonderful person, but if he chooses to end our friendship, right, that's his decision. But anyways, let me get back to the reading. There are so many emotions still to come in all this. I slightly feel anger creeping in, but I don't want to stay there. Anyhow, I just want to explore raw feelings with myself because I know in the future this will fade. I know time heals. Ain't that the truth? How funny that I can apply this to my situation now too. What just shocked me is that I was completely blindsided. So shocked. Like an animal going to the slaughterhouse. I felt like I died. Yeah, it's, you know, now in retrospect, but I do remember that moment. It felt like the world just turned black and white. I felt like I was stabbed, and later he said he felt like he was stabbing me. I know, yeah, this is too personal, but interesting. Damn, I need a drink. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's do number 11. I don't even know. Let me just. Oh my god. I think this is an early college photo of me. Sorry, Sarah. Exposed. Throwback. All right, May 12th, 2008. So we didn't departure far from that 2007. I'm still having some problems here, but I think things are getting better. God, people really annoy me sometimes. Ooh, okay. Maybe it is because I am an only child, but I am so used to my privacy that sometimes it is weird to be around other people. I have 2 finals tomorrow, which is pretty sucky. Chem is the suckiest. I am already in summer mode, so it is a little hard to stay focused. I got a B in the computer-generated arts class. Not bad. I just went to Russ's. Oh, that was a grocery store in Hastings, Nebraska, to get some Red Bull. It has given me wings. I am in a weird mood, maybe because I am tired from working the weekend. Oh, I worked part-time at an assisted living community, overnight shifts. The next entry starts, I just had the most delicious Quiznos sandwich ever. It was on garlic bread, and it really made my day. The garlic bread was so delicious. Last one, we got a Kermit on the beat. So let's see. I think this may be San Francisco. So there's one. We are at March 29th, 21. So yes, I am living in San Francisco at the moment. Hey there, you. I feel so in a weird rut lately, but maybe it is a similar rut that I am often in. We all live in our heads. Oh wow, this is, I think, an introspective one. Story time. But I know that being clear and intentional with myself helps. Clarity, metacognition, mindfulness, all the good stuff to help tame the ego. This is why I can't read this. The gallop of the horses, the gallop slows down. This is a metaphor. I'm training my mind to slow down. I am what I am, and so I accept myself and love myself as I am. But I know I can flex, improve things. Guys, I have the worst handwriting. Sometimes I can't even read my own handwriting. Maybe I should have been a doctor. Hashtag med school dropout. We all do this, living in different times in our minds, whether ruminating on the past or worrying about the future. But that's how the savory future of the here and now fades us. Now is the only reality. How funny, because I said that earlier. It is true wisdom rediscovered with each generation, but we all have to be mindful to practice. And even me, I know things, but still I have to have conversations like this with myself. The ultimate stripping down, and it takes me time to get in the zone. No excuses. I am working to reconfigure the impulse control of it. Living in this phone society is so bad for the brain, but I can't blame it all on outside, as I know self-discipline and commitment to excellence can help me. So it's the systems that I need to implement. And I just started this Atomic Habits book. How funny. I want to develop systems. Wow, I guess I read that book earlier than I thought. That's sad. I'm not searching for... Oh, here I wrote in Polish. I must have been on a plane or something. Life is just so short and so beautiful, and you can help remember it all on your deathbed. Have people read it to you. Publish your books. I'm so silly at this point. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope this video brought value to your life. If you feel it can help someone, please do share it, subscribe, like this video, and I would love to see a comment from you. Do you journal? Is this something that you would like to implement in your life? Let me know. I'm very curious. So thank you again for being here. I love seeing our little koala family grow and grow bigger and stronger. So I appreciate your time. I love you guys. You mean the world to me. I wouldn't be where I am. This channel wouldn't exist without you. So I will always be expressing gratitude. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The biggest kisses from the double-lined, not Mrs., but Miss. Hey. And I'm doing that whole YouTuber thing where exposed. I've got little shorts on and socks. It's business up top. Comfy on the bottom. Share this video with your friends if they... Share this video if you... Share this video. Bye, guys.